What's up, y'all? Welcome to Vortex Gaming, episode 1 of whatever you want to call this series. I don't know. We're gonna be looking at shit today, alright? We're gonna be talking about shit. This is gonna be a rad ass time in my rad ass basement. Check it out. Oh man. Alright. So, a quick disclaimer. Uh, whatever I say in any of these videos, whatever I describe myself doing, I'm not trying to glorify it or anything. Anything I describe my friends doing, I'm not trying to glorify that either. I'm simply just describing how it felt for me as an experience. I'm not encouraging anyone doing the same things that I would do online or in real life. Whatever it is I'm describing, I really just don't encourage it. So that's just like the big shit. But yeah, no. Another disclaimer: I smoke a cigarette before every video, just so you know. Just a quick little disclaimer. Yeah, I know it's not good for you, obviously, but like, bro, addictions are addictions, and I guess we gotta work on that. What I want to talk about today is actually cigarettes. Actually, yeah, I want to talk about why I'm smoking cigarettes now. So buckle up, guys, because this is gonna be a long ride, a very bumpy one too. Cause yeah, no, it's a pretty nasty story. But yeah, no. So just to begin, I have this sick ass friend. I'll call him Aiden, and then I also have this other friend. Let's just call him Chris for the sake of their names. So Chris and Aiden, they are homies, all right? Like they are top G's, and we do all this crazy shit together sometimes. We haven't like we're trying to live up a bunch of lore right now, right? But we haven't quite finished it yet. So we're in like the mid lore phase right now. But there is a lot of shit that I have done. But there's even more shit that I haven't done. But I'll focus on the shit I have done, which focuses on cigarettes for today. So my journey with cigarettes began, I think, like somewhere around 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, when my friend Chris is like, "Yo, you know what would be tough?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "We should try cigarettes, 'cause what is it with people and the whole nicotine thing, like." And this guy used to always swear like the one thing I will never do is nicotine. But I guess this guy was capping because he wanted to try everything. And he's trying to try everything before the end of summer. And I guess that included cigarettes. And you know what? This was all his idea, okay? His manager at Domino's actually was able to come out one day. So I was with Chris when this happened, right? Me and him were out at this little strip, these strip stores that they have across like big roads. I live in an urban area, so they have all these little stores next to each other, like Chinese food and buffet, and then like a vape shop, and then there'll be like a Wendy's somewhere. It's like a bunch of jumbled buildings. So I'm standing under the canopy of one of these long ass strip buildings, and he's like, "All right, so what's the deal? What are you trying to get?" And I'm like, "Marlboro Reds." And you're like, and he's like, "The long ones?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, the long ones." And he's like, "All right, bet." So he gets his manager from Domino's out here, and she's pretty old. She smokes cigarettes. She does smoke breaks sometimes. And she's like, "All right, so what are you trying to get? Kings or shorts or like 100s or kings?" She said, I think. And I was like, "100s?" And she was like, "Don't you smoke?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, not really." And this Chris guy is just standing there. He doesn't really know what to think because it's his manager. He's been working at this Domino's place for a really long time now. So he has some pretty good friendships. So he's able to get me these cigarettes from this lady. Now, this was kind of tough because after the fact, she goes into the smoke shop. She gets the cigarettes. My change is like $2.15 or some bullshit. I was pretty happy. I have a pack of 20 Class A cigarettes now. I was like, this is gonna be fire, Cole. when do you want to smoke this? And he's like, you know what? I just got off of work. It's all been good today. My schedule's clear. Matter of fact, why don't we go down by a creek or some shit and let us smoke our first cigarette? And I was like, all right, bet. So we journey down the street we're on, and we find this little creek in between a McDonald's and some auto retailer business. It's pretty shaded. It's pretty away from people, and the creek is pretty long. It's one of those concrete rivers that you would probably see in LA. So we go down there. We're under like a little bridge, and I crack open this pack of cigarettes, and my friend Chris, he's done a lot of stuff. He's like a top G when it comes to this kind of thing. Like he has been through the thick of it, and he still has more on the way to do. But this guy was anxious. This guy was anxious when we were about to crack open this pack. He was like, "Man, I don't know. I don't want to go home smelling like cigarettes. I don't know." Ugh. And I was like, we're just doing this to know what it tastes like. You don't got to be afraid. You're not going to smell like crazy. I'll let you have a couple hits off of the cigarette because he's a very well-minded person. He's very smart when it comes to topics regarding drugs and alcohol and all that other stuff. And so I crack open the pack. I light up under the bridge, shit like that. And then you know what? I take a couple hits off it. I start chiefing a cigarette. It's a nice Marlboro Red. It has a distinctive smell to it. Obviously that nicotine smell, but it has this little mask, this little bit of fragrance on it just before you smoke it. I inhale that, and my friend Chris he's geeking. He's like, and I'm kind of geeking too, because I'm about to smoke my first cigarette, and I'm like, well, yeah, cheers. I don't know why the fuck I said cheers. He didn't have his own cigarette. We were gonna pass this one around for a while. And so I just start chiefing that motherfucker. And you know what? That shit was hitting. And I won't lie, I did not like it at all at first, dude. The instant I started chiefing that shit, instant buzz. I got more buzz than I wanted to be. So I had to pace my hits a little bit. So I wouldn't really say chiefing it. I was kind of babying the cigarette for a little bit, and Chris is just watching me. He's like, and I'm like, oh, this shit tastes awful. And Chris just goes like, he's tweaking over there. He's like, yeah, no, that's about what I expected. And then a minute passes, and I'm still babying this thing, and Chris he says, so what's it taste like? And I look over at him, and I'm like, it tastes like fucking nicotine. And we just start laughing for no fucking reason. We didn't have anything to drink. We were just gonna hit this cig in this creek. And so I pass Chris the cigarette. And it's like, all right, bet. I'll take a couple hits off of it, but I might not want to take too many. And I was like, yeah, no, 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 that's good. This is our first cigarette. And I watch Chris. He's at a bit of a lower angle than me because the creek slopes inward like this. So I'm right here. He's a little bit down there. He's downwind. He's trying to light this cigarette. He's fumbling this shit. He does not know how to light a fucking cigarette. And I'm like, dude, you want me to help cover for the wind? Because it was a little windy that day. And you know what? He gets it at some point. He's a pretty experienced smoker for like weed and stuff, joints, blunts, all the crazy shit like that. And so you know what? He really had no trouble lighting that shit, but he was still kind of geeking. I guess he was just so excited or so interested in the experience he was about to have that he just couldn't help himself. And so this motherfucker, he lights it up. That's literally what he said, dude. I swear. Like I'm not joking. He was actually fucking. He. It looked like he was trying to chief it at first, but like he suddenly realized that he was not gonna be able to chief that shit, and so he hands it back to me, like kind of hunched over, holding his stomach, like, "Oh man, dude, that hits like hard. Oh, it tastes terrible." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, dude, it's pretty fucking. It's pretty. It goes pretty hard. Hits your system like a fucking bullet train when you first try it." And we didn't really know what to say after that. We just We just started smoking more after that, you know? But that first day, that first experience lives in my head forever. And it started up the lore for so many other smoking experiences after that one. So this same pack that I bought that day that I took one cigarette out of and smoked for the first time, I just finished that pack today. I smoked my final cigarette from that pack today, and I probably won't have another pack for a while because I've been kind of babying it. I've had one cigarette a day for at least 5 days a week, 4 days a week in the last 2 weeks. And I've also been passing it around to some of my other homies. We got Big D in the chat, and then I'll call the other one Christopher. Dude, he's such a top G. But I'll get into those guys later. So after this initial day, when I buy these cigarettes, my friend Chris is like, "Yo, you want to meet up after I get out of work and we can go in that creek and we can smoke a little?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, sure." Now he's not trying to fiend or nothing like that. In this situation, I'm the fiend. I'm the one who wanted the cigarettes because, well, I just wanted to know what they were like. And he was like, "All right, bet we're gonna meet up at this creek again and we're gonna smoke even more." And so each day after this one day, we started smoking a little more intensely because the buzz would hit less and we wouldn't get as Nick sick. So this Chris guy, he starts really getting the hang of it, you know? Like he's able to take 2 hits off of it when I pass him now. Now when I pass it to him, he can take 3 or 4 hits in succession. And he can blow smoke rings and shit. He's a tough ass dude. But like I remember one day we ended up smoking 3 whole cigarettes behind a Taco Bell. And now this Taco Bell, see, it was a weird place. It was on the same side of the road that stupid strip mall or whatever it is where I got the cigarettes from initially. So it's on the same street. So we just walk down from his work, which is in that same strip mall, and we go behind this fucking Taco Bell. And now this is a whack ass Taco Bell. This Taco Bell, it's like real close to the sidewalk, and it has a drive through, but the drive through is massive. So here's the Taco Bell, right? You got this drive through on the side, but it goes all the way around through the parking lot and all the way to the other side of it. It's like a very, very extended U shape, kinda. And it's got this light pole at the end of the little U, like right at the tip of it, kinda. It kinda looked like a Mario Kart track now that I think about it. It's way too long, it's kinda sketch, but you know what? We were like, we're just gonna go there anyway. And so there, as soon as we strike up a sig, you know, we're cruising, we're buzzed, you know, we're pretty happy. Cars start pulling up like crazy in this fucking drive-through, and I am eyeing them like fucking wild. My friend Chris, he's used to it now. Dude, he's cool. He's a top G. He's like an ideal man, kinda. But he's still like 16. And I'm like, what? This guy isn't even afraid of being caught by someone? Because cops, they do tend to go down the road that this Taco Bell was on from time to time. But I don't imagine a cop ever going to this whack ass Taco Bell. So anyway, cars were just streaming past, and you know, we got to our third cigarette, and I'm geeking. I'm absolutely geeking. Now, this was like a solid week and a half ago. This is the same week that I bought that pack of cigarettes, alright? So this is only like 2 or 3 days after our first cigarette, and we're now this Chris guy, we're passing around a third cigarette behind a Taco Bell. And dude, right before we were trying to get to the Taco Bell, we were a little further down the road. That same creek that we had smoked in, it kind of it goes under the road, all right? And we were trying to go to the north side of the creek. We were on the south side of the creek previously. We were absolutely tweaking on that road. I'll tell you what. We were tweaking, man, I swear. We were trying to climb on the side of the creek. It got pretty steep on the north side because we were trying to go and chill out in this abandoned junkyard kind of thing. We start going up on the wrong side of the creek, and the water's too deep in the middle of the creek to actually go through it. So we kept just like crawling around on the sides because it had just rained or some shit. There were leaves all over the sides of the creek. My friend Chris, he ended up almost slipping in twice, and we had to like hang on tree branches growing in from the sides of the creek just so we could get further down. And it's only till 10 minutes into this dumbass climb that we were doing down this bitch ass creek that we realize we're on the wrong fucking side. And we're doing all this just to find a sick ass spot to smoke. I mean, it's kind of goofed up. It's kind of whack. And then we realize, fuck it, there's a Taco Bell right here. We're gonna go smoke behind it. That's pretty much the lore of that day. That day was so fucking tough. Because after that, I'm pretty sure we got balls deep in alcohol. Fuck, man. And now I'm here, smoking one cigarette a day, passing it to my friend Chris every now and then. And you know what? He is such a top G for actually just like being there. He hasn't called me out for doing the shit that he's doing because, I'm doing it with him, And normally he would call me out for fiending off of nicotine, but I really don't fiend. I've kept it to one a day for a really, really long time, which is 2 weeks. Most addictions, I think, start like forming within 2 weeks, and I think I'm really starting to feel that. But seeing as I just smoked my last cigarette of this pack, I don't think I'm gonna be completely addicted. This could change. You might see a future video about this describing a big ass addiction that is developed as a result of what I was doing with Chris. And that would be so damn ironic, but I can guarantee you that's not gonna happen. All right, I'm locked in. Okay, I'm locked in. Dude, you know what? Chris has been there for like damn near everything, man. Chris, he's real smart about everything. He knows about how different drugs affect your brain and stuff. It's just a little bit of background on me and Chris. Yeah, we're typical dudes, but we do atypical stuff. We do that geeker shit. We be on that crazy south side type bullshit. Like fuck. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick little story time video. Sorry if it's kind of jumbled up here and there. I've been geeking the past couple days. I was drinking at a recent park event that happened in my city, and I went to bed at like 2 in the morning last night, and, and then I woke up at fucking 6:30 because I had to get driven home. It was not tough at all because I woke up with a bit of a hangover. But you know what? I'll talk about my alcohol addiction in another video. Peace out, you guys. Peace out.